Hello, collectors. I know this isn't the face you were expecting to see for Best for the Best, but Theo called me in at the last minute. He was having power issues and needed a substitute for recording this session. And it makes sense, anyways, because we are going to be talking about one of the two basketball players. Yes, you heard me. We're doing basketball in this episode, but one of the two players that defined basketball in the 1980s, none other than Larry Legend himself, Larry Bird. So let's get this thing rolling.
They are the immortal icons who transcend the sport.
Swinging, there's a drive into left center field. That ball is going to be out of here.
Larger-than-life legends who inspired collections for the ages.
This is the Home Run Derby from 1959.
What happens when the game's biggest players
Bobby hits a drive into the gap in the left center field. There she is.
meet the hobby's biggest super collectors?
1968 3D.
That's where you'll find the best of the best.
All right. I think Theo's going to have to rework that intro. Oh, let's get that shirt out of there. But welcome back again to the best of the best, Adam from Splendid Sports.
Hello, John. And I know this might be painful for you as a Lakers fan. Theo really wanted to stick it to you with this one to make you look at some Larry Bird cards. So here we go.
Now, I did hate him as a kid. I can remember watching that first finals between those two teams in 84 on the TV, every game live, since they actually got to have live games at that point, thanks to those two guys. I think that was the first final series that was actually not on any kind of tape delay. Yeah, I was, I was really a bandwagon Laker fan. It was kind of a thing where if you lived on the West Coast and you were a kid, you loved Magic Johnson. How could you not like him? And I hated Larry Bird because he was so damn good. You feared that if he got the ball, there was any time left on the clock, and that was, a one or 2 point lead, that wasn't safe. And I mean, how did you feel watching that guy in those moments?
Yeah, I sort of missed the beginning of the rivalry. I don't have many memories because I was born in 81. So first memory is probably around like maybe 87. I think I caught the tail end of that. But obviously I went back and, I've seen them all now and I know all the history and everything. So I wish I could have. Imagine going to a game, Lakers Celtics game. That would have been crazy back then, just to see it in person, those two teams. But similar to you, when I was younger, I was like, ooh, Magic Johnson, and now, and the same way about Michael Jordan. Now I love both of those guys too, so I've buried all that hatchet and everything, and I'm a fan of all those guys now.
Oh yeah. I mean, once you get older, you appreciate that kind of greatness that you got to watch. I mean, totally. I think this whole latest arguments of these modern guys trashing on, 80s, 90s players, they weren't alive to see it. So,
right.
Seeing is believing. I mean, Larry Bird would thrive in the style of play that's played now. I mean,
I agree. I've said that. I think, if you look at some of the players now, not just to say white guys, but like some of the Jokic and Doncic, Bird was like those guys combined, really, if you think about it. I mean, he's a little smaller than Jokic, but the complete game, better shooter than those guys. So I think he would be those guys times two, really, in today's league, in his peak, at his prime. So
I was just texting with Theo when he asked me to step in on this. It's like I thought Bird was a slightly better version of Luka on offense. And then defense, it's not even close because, defense requires effort and he doesn't, Luka doesn't seem to realize there's two ends of the court. So
I think there was one of my favorite quotes. I'll probably mess it up, but Pat Riley, there's a quote from him. Like, if you ask me if the game's on the line, who I want to take the shot, it's Michael Jordan. But if my life was on the line, it's Larry Bird. I always love that one.
That is an awesome quote. Yes, I've heard that one many times, and I believe it because, the guy had no fear taking any of those shots. And there was that one finals, whereas the last second it was right on line, and for some reason doinked off the rim, and I could have sworn that shot was going to go in at the time. I mean, it was shocking that it didn't because of him shooting it.
Yep. And then that was the Magic game where he hit the hook shot from the free throw line, and that was a killer right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
great game.
I loved it, at the time. But all right, so if anybody's not familiar with the format of this show, we have bringing in super collectors of legendary players, and we're asking them to pick their favorite card from each year of the playing days of that legend and show that card off. They also get, whether they had a tough decision to make because there were so many good cards in a particular year, they do get to show 2 from that year, as well as then also a modern card because these legends are getting produced in modern sets now. So, what's their favorite modern card, as well as one dream card that, it might always be out of reach that they want to talk about as well. So you want to kick things off here, I guess, with the rookie card?
Sure, we'll start. Yeah, everyone knows what the 1980 card is going to be. And
1980.
I still currently have 2 of these, but my other one is a PSA 8.
Oh, I almost forgot. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so this is the one I'm keeping here. I have 2, but I'm keeping the PSA 7 here. In classic PSA fashion, I have an 8 and I have a 7, and the 7 looks better. So I'm going to keep the 7, and I'm actually going to auction off the 8 here, I think probably this week or next week. So I'm just trying to free up some extra money. And this is one of the only cards I had doubles of because I love it so much. But this is the one I'm going to run with for the rest of my collecting career here. The nicely centered and looks pretty good, for a lowly near mint in this card. But it's good for me.
What kind of planning went into that card being made there with both those rookies on one card? And then also probably the most popular player, if not, not necessarily the best, because, prior to them, you'd argue between Kareem or Moses Malone because he was a downer at that point. But, legendary, all 3 of them. I mean, it's insane.
And one thing I will say about this card, because I've had a lot of people ask me, I'm looking to get one of these and any advice or anything. And rather than saying grade, one thing I always look for on this card is on a lot of them, I don't know the percentage, but it's a pretty good percentage. Under the Johnson, in a lot of them, there's a black horizontal print line. It's pretty noticeable. And it was just a printing error that a lot of them had on it. So, when I went to go get a copy, I wanted to look for ones without that print line. It would like be right, sorry with the camera there, but right under Magic there. Under Johnson, you'll see it on a lot of them. So that would be my advice is, I prefer the copy without that print line if you can find it. And believe it or not, you don't really see a huge price difference in the ones with the print line or without. Maybe over time that will change, but right now I would target the ones without it.
Do they grade them differently, or do they just take it as that's a standard sort of defect?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's standard. Yeah, so they PSA or whatever, they don't ding the grade based on that print line. Yeah. Yep. All right. That's 80, the rookie. Again,
1981.
In these early years, you don't have a lot of choices. So 81, love this card. So this is my PSA 9. I used to have a PSA 10, and I sold that baby and got a lot of profit on that one, which I could use for other cards. And I found myself a PSA 9 that looks like a 10, really. It's perfectly centered. Maybe not perfectly, but it's double D-centered, I would say. And it's a lot less money for a 9 than a 10 in this type of card. So I not only got that, but I had some money to play with, I guess, after that. So I figured I'd also get an autographed one. So I got a 9 with a 10 auto in that card as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So I doubled up on that one.
All right. We got anything for 82? I know there's no major set.
Yeah. So 82, this is strange, but there is like maybe one or two oddball cards. Like one's like a police station card from Indiana. It's a blue card. It's on the PSA master set registry for Larry Bird, which I don't do. I just did the basic run, the PSA basic set registry for Bird. And some of them are in my run here, but not all of them. But the master set has one card from 82, but it's really expensive, and it's an oversized one, and it's blue. It's weird, so I don't have that card, but I'm going to kind of use a workaround here. And this is a missing years card. So this is this Larry Bird 82 Topps in 2006. Topps created a missing years set of 10 cards, including this one here. So this would be what, like, if you imagine what a 1982 Topps Bird card would be, this is what I'm going to use for the year 1982. And they did that all up till 1992, because Bird did not have a Topps card after that 81. So from 81 all the way to 92, 92 was his next Topps card, 10-year run without a Topps card. Pretty crazy. So that's my 82. And then 83, I'm going to count this one because it's 83, 84. This is the star card. And, he's got a bunch of cards in the star set, but this is what's considered the short print. This is a short printed Bird card, the number 26, Larry Bird, in the star 83-84 set. So I'm going to use that for 83. And PSA does grade these cards now, but I still have it. There was a time when BGS was the only company that would grade these. So there's my 83. And let's see, 84, another star card. I just love, it's not an expensive card or anything, but I just love this image of Bird. It's the number 11 card in 84 star, and nicely centered copy, which you don't always find in these. And I used to remember Bird throwing those full court passes, baseball style, because he was a great baseball player too. And this is a nice one of that there for 1984. These star cards, I have noticed they are seeming to climb in price since that Michael Jordan card, 84 star, has been making noise. It seems like it's raising prices for all of them.
It does seem like there's a weird battle going on with like the Jordan camps. That is, definitely making star elevated all of a sudden.
And let's see, this is a cool one. This is a little towards the oddball here. 85, we're going to go with, it's an oversized sticker, Prism Jewel, 85 Prism Jewel. Look at this thing. And this was a sticker that came out of vending machines in 1985. And I guess Prism before Prism was ever a thing. Very shiny card, or excuse me, sticker. And it's a blank back because it's just a sticker. Now, the thing with these is, I remember these vending machines. You would get a sticker and you would never keep it. You'd stick it on something or whatever. So the population is not too high with these because not many survived. Even though they made a lot of them, not many survived in good shape. So this is a pretty cool one.
Oh yeah, the vast majority of those had to have been thrown away.
Totally, or they're on Trapper Keepers or something like that.
Exactly.
But there's a Michael Jordan in this same set there that goes for huge money, big money for that. The Bird is more reasonable, but the Jordan, from 85 is a huge one to get to for those Jordan collectors.
Oh yeah.
All right. So 86, I just love this card. Obviously it's a iconic set, 86 Fleer. Now I do have this one in a PSA 10. So I got this one a long time ago when these were not going for what they go for now. But the funny thing with this is a card I might actually sell too at some point, because you can't really tell too much here, but this is not the best centered PSA 10. Right to left, it's probably 60-40. So it's like, minimum for centering. And I don't have it with me because I just bought it recently and it's still on the way. But I just got a PSA 7 that's better centered than this 10 and looks just as good with better centering. So you're talking a card that goes for a lot in a PSA 10. I'm probably going to just downgrade, go with that PSA 7 and sell the 10 eventually, and use that money for other cards. That's kind of the route I've been going with a lot of my runs, especially this bird run where, a PSA 10 goes for crazy prices compared to like a 9. It's unbelievable with these cards.
Oh yeah, seems like the smart move to me.
Yeah. So, but I just love that card. This was actually on the box. This was the image, not the Jordan, but on the box for 86 Flair, they had this bird card as like the cover card. So
yeah,
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I've seen those boxes go for ridiculous amounts in auctions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's also Bird. 86 Bird was probably peak Larry Bird. He was at the peak of his powers, on the greatest team maybe ever, 86 Celtics. So it's just a cool card.
Well, what? You got 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup and then another one off the bench.
Yeah. So you got a good team when you got Bill Walton coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now, this is really like a poster card for this era of cards where they made a lot of them, but some sets and some cards, they go for good money, like huge money actually, in the PSA 10. And then all other grades are a lot less. The 87 Flair, which you don't hear about too much, this is actually the hardest one to get in a PSA 10. I think the rookie might be less population, but there's only like 32 PSA 10s of this card. And obviously they made thousands and thousands, but this set, for whatever reason, the centering is like impossible. So again, got this one a while back. I might keep this one because it is very hard to find a centered copy, even in lower grades. So we'll see. But this is a really tough card, 87 Flair. And it's just a goofy image, too. I think you got Kurt Rambis there in the background.
Yep.
With Bird about to throw like a behind the head pass. So that one, when I completed the PSA basic set, I think I was like number 4 on the list or something like that. But, the more I look at it, it's like, I'm just happy to have completed that. It's a 20 card run. I think the leaders has all PSA 10s throughout the whole run, even the rookie. So it's like, what am I competing against? So I'm just thinking I'll just probably downgrade a lot of these that I got a while back and use that money for other cards. So, all right, we're gonna go. I love these. You remember the starting lineups, right? For 1988. Oh, yeah. So this is one here, mint condition one, 1988 starting lineup. This was his first starting lineup card. He had a few others in other years, but 88 was his first one. And I just look at this card and I become a kid again when I see this thing. So that's my pick for 88.
I remember starting lineups.
There you are. Yeah, there you go.
Dale Murphy right on my desk.
Seriously, probably of all the things I could look at, that or a card or the figure too, like that's the most nostalgic thing for me, like from that whole time period, is those starting lineups. I had them all over the place, and the cards, I loved it. All right, this one's kind of it's a cool card, but it's also for personal reasons. I love this one. This is the 1989 Converse. Converse came out with a set, and what I love about this card, a bunch of things, but it's a great shot of Bird from 1989. But you also have Dominique Wilkins there, making a cameo, and you see the Polaroid banner in the background there. My dad worked for Polaroid for 30 years, so it's got some some sentimental stuff in there too. So it's really like a perfect Larry Bird card for me here. You get a shot of the Boston Garden behind him, and just love this one. And here's the back of those. I have the Magic Johnson in this too. It's pretty cool card.
Nice.
So I forget I think these came in like a pack, but it was like a see-through pack or something like that. I don't know if anyone in the comments remembers. I don't think they came with Converse shoes or anything. I think it was just like a promotional set that they put out. Let's see. 1990, seen this card probably a bunch of times. This was the first year of Skybox, so I just always loved that design. Pretty cool.
I've got that whole set in a binder over here.
Yeah. So, it's part of that PSA basic run. So not a card you would normally grade, but, in order to do that run, I bought most of them. But the next one here, this was a really cool one because for the PSA basic run, I had all of the cards. And I was just missing one. And I tried to do all these in PSA 10, like the years we're seeing here, just because it's a little more of a chase than the other one, than going a little lower grade. And it's not a huge price difference. But this was from 1990 hoops, 91 hoops, and this was from my childhood collection. So I pulled this one from a pack as a kid, and then it spent 30 years in a binder, untouched, unopened. It was in a binder, and then like 3 years ago, I opened the binder and I was like, oh, already have the card. It looked good. It looked centered. I'm like, let me just shoot it into PSA and maybe we'll get a 10. And it did. Surprisingly, you don't usually get 10s from 1991 cards that you send in. And, anyone who says those plastic sheets don't protect the cards, well, they do. I mean, 30 years, it just sat there. So,
yeah, the quality control wasn't the best on those.
Remember that, Yep. And so, 91 was probably the toughest year because, in some of these years, he doesn't have many cards, but now we're getting in like the year 91. He's got a million cards, a lot of choices, a lot of good choices. I picked that one, but the other one I wanted to show is 1991 Skybox, the Dream Team. And what's cool about these is it's a set of 3. I have all 3. I just got this one because it's got Bird on it here.
Yeah.
But I have all 3, and they all go together like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So all the players, the whole team lines up. So this is 92 Dream Team was like peak basketball fun for me. I was like 11, and I had my Dream Team hat that summer. I had a T-shirt that said Bird and Magic together at last because they were finally on the same team. It was just, man, it was so fun. Such a fun summer to watch that team. So I love collecting some of those cards.
Oh yeah, I mean that team, it was so much fun to see it together. That for me, that was right after I graduated high school. So this is a team full of the guys that I was watching through my childhood, all assembled together. Had Magic Johnson, that was initially my favorite player, and then even brought in David Robinson, who was then my favorite player through the 90s. So yeah. What
a team. I remember, it's another great Larry Bird quote, or this one's from Larry Bird. In 2008, I think it was, there was they were calling themselves another dream team, like the Dream Team. And it was like Kobe, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, a lot of these guys in their prime. And there was talk now, like, are these guys going to be better than the 92 Dream Team? And they asked Larry Bird that question. This was in 2008. And they were like, who do you think would win, your 92 Dream Team or this new 2008 team? And classic Bird, sarcasm was like, it would be a close game, but we would win. We're all in our 60s now, so it would be pretty close.
I did have Bird that one too. That one.
Classic Larry Bird right there.
He's a good funny guy. Still willing to talk trash.
Yep.
Even now.
Legendary trash talker. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, actually, this is a good time. I don't know. Do you want to mention on that topic? Do you want me to mention the dream card now, or should I wait on that? Like the one dream card that I'd want to get for Bird?
We can hit that now. I'm ready to show that if you want.
So because we were just talking about the Dream Team, so I figured
the view, and we will put that on screen. You can talk about this one.
Yeah. So this one, I've seen this one. This one's just been taunting me because this is a 1-of-1. And I've seen the person who has it out on social media. He always shows it. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh, man. Now, this is a 1-of-1 from 2014 Panini Eminence. I had no clue that was even a thing, Panini Eminence. But apparently in 2014, they put out a set of game-used 92 Dream Team cards like this, where it's game used. Like, you can't see the back here, but on the back it says, this is from official game used Dream Team material or something like, or jersey. And this is a 1-of-1, but there's also, I'd be fine not ever getting this 1-of-1 because I've seen who has it. It doesn't seem like he's ever going to sell it. But they have a numbered to 10 version too. It's similar, same type of card. It doesn't have the USA on it. That's just the 1-of-1. But anything game used Dream Team would be just awesome. So I guess a dream card would be one of those 1-of-10 that Bird has in this set here. And they go for pretty good money, as you would imagine, but it's autographed. It's got the patch game used, and Bird's is like the best one I've seen. Some of the other players like Michael Jordan and Karl Malone and those guys, they have the same 1-of-1, but Bird's the only one I've seen that has the USA for the patch that they used on his. So it's just like perfect.
it couldn't be a better location.
Right.
So
yeah, I think it's the guy's name, Adam, the real 27 guy. He's he has a big basketball podcast, and I've never spoken to him, but I've seen it on Instagram. He shows this card, and it's just amazing card.
Yeah, when I heard of this one, I started looking up to see if any of them were sold, and I did see the John Stockton apparently can be had as a buy it now for $1,500. So
I've seen that, yeah, and I think there was another one too that was like 4,000. They were asking for it for Stockton, and the patch itself it didn't say USA. It was just like a nice patch, but not this good. So this is like. For patch autograph for Larry Bird, this would be like the ultimate card right here. And it's a 1/1. So
yeah, I mean, if this were to go for sale with a 1/1, I mean, how crazy would the price be on something like this? Are we talking 5 figures or?
I would think, man. Yeah, probably, because you get some of these other ones from like exquisite, like modern brands that I've seen Larry Bird logo man go for I seen one go for like $30,000 for a logo man of Larry Bird, and I'd rather have this with the Dream Team. I know other people maybe wouldn't, but the Dream Team was like so special to me that this would be the ultimate.
Yeah, I don't get the logo man thing at all. When this is so much more appealing as far as look. So
yeah, right. It would go for probably more than I'd want to pay or be able to pay on that card, but again, the 10, number to 10, that could be my wheelhouse. So I'm keeping an eye. If anyone sees one of those, let me know.
Yeah. All right. Let's get that off screen.
We're at 91. So we're now 92. I love the Stadium Club cards. There's a million options in 92, but I chose the 92 Stadium Club, and this is the members only version. So it's a little harder parallel than members only. Stadium Club, great photos. This was Bird at the end of his career, like skying for a layup there. But
cool how you can see then the Boston Garden rafters there in the shot and everything.
You can see some Bruins rafters there too. So if you're a hockey fan. But what I like best about this card, and really why I chose it, is what Stadium Club did is they're really cool. They show the first Topps card on the back. So it's just like a card on card of the rookie card. Yeah. And so it's just another thing I like about it. All right. So now we're going to do, I actually got a couple, if you don't mind, just a couple post playing days modern cards. This one real quick is not very post playing days. It's actually the year after his last cards, playing days cards. 93 finest refractor, Larry Bird. And, special set, because this is the first refractor set ever.
Oh yeah.
93. So had to get one of these babies, and just really cool set to have, iconic set in the hobby. Yep. So that's probably one of my favorite post playing days cards. And then I also wanted to show this one for a more modern card. So you probably heard of, especially in basketball, they're real big, PMGs, precious metal gems cards. Now for basketball, those came out back in 1997, the first ones, where they had like the red and the PMG green. And you've probably seen the Michael Jordan ones of those go for incredible money. And really most players go for big
crazy money.
Yeah. But Larry Bird was never in that set because he was retired. They only did active players. So he never had any PMGs in the original, but in 2011, Fleer brought back the designs and did a retro set. So I was able to pick up the Larry Bird PMG green from 2011. And now they have college uniforms, which turns some people off. But I love him in his Indiana State uni too. I think that's really cool. So this is a PMG green numbered to 10 from 2011. You don't see too many of these pop up. So I had to nab this one, and just really cool card. You got the green for the Celtics, and then and then you got him in his Indiana uniform. So that's another one of my favorite modern Bird cards. He's got a lot of great modern cards too, because as you saw, a lot of those years through his playing days, there's not a lot of cards. So us Larry Bird collectors, we do collect a lot of the post-playing days cards so that we can keep collecting, because otherwise you'd run out of cards to collect pretty fast with Bird.
Well, as someone who continually likes to rewatch documentaries over the years that I've even seen in the past, anytime I see him in that uniform, what pops in my head is that cheesy song, the whole Indiana's got a new state bird.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always think when I think of Bird, that I don't know if you ever saw it, but in the '80s they made like an NBA video of some of the best players, and like there would be a song with each guy. It was like a music video basically, and his song was always "Small Town" by John Mellencamp. So anytime I hear that song, I think of Bird because it's always tied together.
Makes sense. Indiana connection there too. So.
Yep.
All right. So is that it there?
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think I got everything in there.
Well, thanks for coming back to share your stuff. I have a feeling with you being a multiple person super collector, we might see you again here. Just maybe. So
if you ever want to do football, guys, I'm in on football with Mr. Tom Brady, but you let me know.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming. If any of you are not subscribed to Splendid Sports, go check that out. You know, I don't know, you've been on a hiatus a little while from your 3-on-3 series, right? Is that coming back?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it back. Actually, with Greg, Midlife Sports Cards, I'm going to do one with him after the National. So I'm going to bring it back.
Well, that's something definitely to look forward to. So. Yep. But yeah, definitely check out Splendid Sports, and everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.